You are watching HGTV Handmade. Today I'm going to show you how to embellish a store-bought throw blanket with some yarn and some tassels and some really simple embroidery techniques so that you can make a store-bought and kind of boring blanket look really special. Now, Marianne showed us a little while back how to make some tassels with embroidery floss, and Meg has shown you how to make some tassels with suede. So I'm going to just show you really quick how to make some tassels with yarn, and then I'm going to show you some of the simple techniques that you can use to embellish the blanket. So if you'd like to see those other tassel videos, check the description box below if that's going to fit your style a little bit more, and you can check out those videos. So let's get going. I'm going to show you how to embellish this blanket.
Alright everyone, so in this tutorial I'm going to share how to embellish a store-bought blanket. I bought this at a local discount home store for about $20. And then here is some yarn that I picked out. I picked an especially high contrast for the tutorial, but this is also a fun sort of fall color combination, so you can just be creative and suit whatever is your style. I'm going to show you how to do a back stitch and a running stitch, and also really quickly how to make these yarn tassels. And you can sort of just take those techniques and run with it, whatever your style might be. So what you need for this project is the throw blanket, and make sure that the throw blanket is really simple, something where your design can really pop and stand out, something really basic. That's why the store-bought is great. And also something where the weave is such that you can use a tapestry needle. These are tapestry needles, or you can even use a yarn needle, something that has a very large eye so that you can use yarn. And then the weave of the blanket, you should sort of be able to see how you can insert a needle really easily. This sort of fabric is great for this kind of thing. It's not going to leave any holes. If you make a mistake and you need to pull anything out, a very forgiving fabric. Also, when you're choosing your yarn, choose something that has a little bit of texture to it, but not too much. We don't want any kind of crazy texture to your yarn, because then it won't look as nice with some of these smaller stitches. These are both great options, and there's beautiful color choices for not very much money. You only need one ball of yarn. So you can go to your yarn store, walk the yarn aisle, and find whichever one you would like to use for your project. You just need one, which is only a few dollars. Your tapestry needle, you need some good scissors. Fabric scissors are best because they cut the fibers nice and straight when you are making your tassels. And then you need a small ruler. I'm going to be using this 2.5-inch ruler to make the tassels, but you could cut out sturdy cardboard, or there's really lots of things that you could use to wrap your yarn around it. So this is what I'm going to be using, but whatever you have on hand will be great for that. So I picked out some of my yarn, and I've got a straight edge here along my blanket, and this is just to help me sort of eyeball a straight line. This sort of material is not going to accept a chalk or any sort of like erasable sort of marker. So I'm just putting a straight edge here, just sort of to keep me semi-straight. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is meant to look very organic. You want to thread your yarn through. And we are going to start with a running stitch. So I'm actually going to come up from the bottom. And you can see just how easily everything's going to come through this particular blanket that I chose. But I'm going to leave a tail here so that we can fasten it off. You can fasten it off a couple of different ways. I'm going to sort of just tie a knot here. This will be a project where you will need to hand wash it if you need to wash this at all. I'm going to tie a knot here on the end and then leave the tail here that I can sort of weave in on the back side. Okay, so when we have our little stitch here, we're going to come back underneath because we need to come up so that we still create that running stitch. And from here to here, we want it to be about the same size as from here to here. Okay, so I'm gonna go for about 3/4 of an inch. So you want to try to have the space under the fabric, above the fabric, these all to be about the same. So now we've got a nice little start. So again, you want this space and the space underneath and come down so that this is all about the same. And then you can pull it through. You can do this a couple of different ways. It's up to you. You just want to make sure that it is the most secure as possible. I'm going to just insert here at the end. I'm going to leave a loop, insert the needle, and then I'm going to bring it around, and then I'll actually insert back here to, I'll pull it through on this last stitch over here. We can create another little, when there's a little loop left, put the yarn through there. You can see how it's going to create a little bit of a knot. That makes it much more secure. Trim it up. There's our running stitch. The back stitch will use up quite a bit more yarn. So with the width of your blanket, you probably want about 3 lengths. I come up from the back. So we have a tail here. I'm actually going to bring this one back and we're going to tie a knot. Bring it around to the back side and we'll weave in the tail later. So now we're going to start from the back side again and we are going to insert our needle. So now instead of continuing forward like we did on the running stitch, we're going to bring our needle back and insert it right here at the base of this other stitch. And then we're going to travel along the back side of the blanket, bringing our needle up the distance away from this yarn that we want our stitches to be. Alright, so you see how that looks? Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to come back and insert the needle here, travel underneath the blanket, and pop our needle out how far we want our next stitch to be. So when you come back up, make sure this section and this section are roughly the same, and pull it through and continue going all the way down. Now here is the back stitch, and you have a lot of yarn to work with back here, so when you finish up you can loop it back around, tie a little knot back here and hide it back behind the blanket, and it'll be totally hidden and nice and secure. So you can see here where I have made the back stitch, the running stitch, and attached a little tassel. Let's make the yarn tassel super quickly. I'm just gonna go through it. We are gonna wrap the yarn, not too tightly, around the ruler or cardboard or whatever you have. Next you can cut the yarn. Now we need 2 more pieces of yarn. First one, we are gonna make the tie and weave in one of those extra pieces. I'm gonna tie this down as tight as I possibly can. Then we're gonna cut this part. You can mess with it a little bit if you need to. Now what we're gonna do is, since our ends look a little bit crazy, we're gonna pinch the ends between our fingers and give it a haircut.
Alright, what do you guys think about that? Does that help a little bit? Does that give you some techniques and some ideas to embellish projects around your house and make it awesome for fall? I I hope so. If you have any questions, leave those down below. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you like quilting, sewing, crochet type of DIY projects, I would love it if you came and checked out my channel called Melanie Ham. It will be linked down below. Let me know over there that you came over from HGTV Handmade so that I can say hello and welcome. Thank you so much for spending this week with me here on HGTV Handmade. Stay warm this fall season and I will see you soon. Bye!